Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello. I will begin this presentation by introducing our topic, which is microbiological hazards in street foods and their impact on public health. Street food is widely consumed around the world due to its affordability, accessibility, and convenience. It is especially popular in urban areas and among lower to middle income groups. Despite its popularity, street food is often associated with food safety concerns, mainly because of the informal condition in which it is prepared and sold. Most street food is cooked or handled in open environments, such as roadside stalls, night markets, or temporary setups, where sanitation may not be properly managed. Clean water might not be available, waste disposal may be limited, and vendors often lack proper food safety training. These conditions make it easier for harmful microorganisms to contaminate the food. Microbiological hazards like E. coli, Salmonella species, Listeria monocytogenes, and Staphylococcus aureus are frequently found in improperly handled or stored food. When consumed, these pathogens can cause foodborne illnesses ranging from mild symptoms such as stomach pain and diarrhea to more severe health complications. In serious cases, it can even lead to hospitalization or long-term health effects, especially in vulnerable groups like children and the elderly. According to the World Health Organization, around 600 million people fall sick each year due to unsafe food. This shows that microbiological contamination is not just a minor issue. It is a major public health concern that requires attention from both the public and government.
The main contributors to microbiological contamination in street food is improper handling and poor hygiene practices by vendors. This includes not washing our hands between tasks and handling both food and money without gloves, and also reusing dirty utensils and surfaces. In many cases, vendors also neglect to wear protective gear like gloves, aprons, and also hairnets, which further increases the risk of contamination. And these unhygienic practices can introduce dangerous bacteria like E. coli, Salmonella, and also Staphylococcus into the food. So, for example, E. coli, which is Escherichia coli, it comes from fecal matter and it causes diarrhea and stomach cramps. And for Salmonella, it is often transferred to raw food like eggs or uncooked chicken, and also unclean tools, and this leads to fever and also vomiting. Meanwhile, Staphylococcus aureus is found on our hands and skin, and it is a common cause for food poisoning. So, cross-contamination usually occurs at multiple stages, from preparing to serving, and especially when same tools are used for both raw and cooked foods. Without proper hygiene, bacteria can multiply rapidly, especially in the hot outdoors environments, street food. And this becomes a serious public health concern because contaminated food affects everyone, but it especially affects the ones that are in vulnerable group like children or elderly, and also people with weak immune system. And if ignored, these issues can lead to foodborne outbreaks and also health strain, and even fatalities in severe cases. So overall, poor hygiene isn't just a small oversight, it's a major health risk in the world of street food.
I will be talking about one of the major microbiological hazards in street food, which is contaminated water. Street food vendors often use untreated water to cook food, wash vegetables, clean utensils, and even make drinks. Even though the water may look clean, it can still carry harmful germs like E. coli, Salmonella, and the hepatitis A virus. This dirty water is used in a few key ways: to wash raw vegetables, to make ice or drinks, and to clean plates and spoons. If the water isn't clean, the germs go straight into the food and then into our bodies. Now, let's look at some real-life cases that happened recently. First, in Pune, India, in May 2025, there was a big outbreak of hepatitis A and typhoid. The number of cases doubled because of early rains that made water sources dirty. This water was still used at food stalls. Second, in Kerala in June 2025, over 50 people got sick after a wedding. The food and ice were made using well water, which was later found to have the hepatitis A virus. Then, in Queenstown, New Zealand in September 2023, a parasite called Cryptosporidium got into the water supply. People had to boil the water for weeks just to stay safe. Lastly, during Eid in Bangladesh 2025, more than 100 people end up in hospital after eating street foods. The likely causes? Dirty water used for cooking and cleaning.
Next, we go to the last issue that influenced the microbial hazard in street food, which is inadequate storage and temperature control. So temperature danger zone is between 5 to 60 degrees Celsius. This is where mostly pathogens like E. coli, Salmonella, and S. aureus grow rapidly within this range. So based on the food safety standards, they specify that the potentially hazardous food must be stored below 5 degrees Celsius or above 60 degrees Celsius to prevent this bacterial growth. So many street vendors often use cool boxes or insulated containers to store the food rather than use refrigerator. So this use only provide temporary temperature control. Thus, lack of refrigeration leads to food spoilage and microbial growth. Besides, street vendors usually store the food at ambient temperature for a long period, which is for hours or overnight before sale or until it is sold, which precisely means before its consumption. So holding foods at high ambient temperature for a long period has been reported to be a main contributor to the food poisoning outbreaks. Some food vendors also cook some food earlier, then reheat it when customer requests. So reheating food is often inadequate because it fails to destroy bacteria that may have developed during prolonged holding. Thus, during reheating, time temperature exposure must be sufficiently high or long to inactivate the infectious microorganism. Next, according to some cases that occurs in some countries like Malaysia, India, and also Ethiopia, all these cases stated that improper storage, poor reheating, and being left in a room or ambient temperature for extended period can produce high microbial contamination in food. This was lead to public health outbreaks. So, therefore, it is crucial to address this issue to ensure the overall quality and safety of the street food.
In these slides, I will focus on the solution to one major food safety, which is the use of contaminated water. Our goal is to ensure that all water used for cooking, washing, and cleaning is clean and safe. So, the first solution is to install public water refill station in the area where street food is sold. This station should be connected to a treated municipal water supplies and maintained regularly. Local council can also ensure water quality by conducting regular testing. So, next, in area without access of pipe water, the solution is to use portable water tank with built-in filter or solar power purification units. This system can remove harmful bacteria and make water safe for food preparation and cleaning. The third solution is education and training. Vendors should be trained on how to handle water safely. So, for example, always boiling water before use and storing it in the sealed, clean containers. Even if water is clean, it can become contaminated during storage. So next, another simple but effective solution is to encourage the vendor to boil water before using it for cooking or washing. Boiling kills most bacteria and is affordable and easy to do. Filtering is also a good step, especially for water used in washing raw ingredients. And lastly, vendors who follow this safe practice should be recognized or certified. A health department can give a hygiene label or sticker to stall using treated water. This helps build trust with customer and encourage the other vendor to do the same. To summarize, the key solution to ensure safe water use in the street food are: first, install clean water station. Second, use portable filter and tanks. And train vendor on the hygiene. And next, encourage the boiling and filtering. And lastly, provide hygiene certification.
For our second solution, we focus on proper food handling and storage. The main problem is when food is left at unsafe temperatures or handled in dirty conditions. Bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella can grow quickly, which can lead to food poisoning. To solve this, cool food like raw meat or dairy must be kept below 5 degrees Celsius, and hot food like fried rice or soup should be above 60 degrees Celsius. Vendors can use ice boxes for cool items and food warmers for hot ones. Hygiene is just as important. Vendors need to wash their hands and tools, wear gloves, aprons and hairnets, and keep their work surface clean. These small habits can really reduce contamination. Authorities like the Ministry of Health should do regular checks and maybe introduce a star rating system to show which stores are clean and safe. Since many vendors do not have food safety training, we suggest giving them simple workshops and refresher classes to learn the right techniques. Also, with technology, mobile apps can help vendors remember to check food temperatures or clean their tools. It makes things easier and more organized. In short, this solution helps reduce public health risks and builds more trust in our street food culture.
The next solution is structural improvement. First, access to safe and sufficient water supply. Providing potable running water at or near vending site is essential for drinking, cooking, washing hands, utensils, and food items. Water should be safe and not reused for washing to prevent cross-contamination. Where running water is unavailable, vendors should have access to clean water containers that are regularly emptied and sanitized. Second one is sanitary facilities. Construction and maintenance of clean toilets and hand washing stations with soap and disposable towels near vending areas are vital. These facilities reduce contamination risks from poor personal hygiene and promote regular hand washing among vendors and consumers. Inclusive designs that accommodate disabled persons enhance accessibility. And the third one is waste management and pest control. Providing dedicated garbage bins with lids and effective waste disposal systems prevent accumulation of refuse near food stalls, which otherwise attracts pests and rodents that can contaminate food. Regular cleaning and pest control measures are necessary to maintain hygiene.
The solution is by strengthening food safety education and training for street food vendors. One of the most effective ways to do this is by organizing regular tailored workshops. This session should really focus on the basics like personal hygiene, like teaching vendors how to wash their hands properly, wear clean aprons, and keep their hair covered. They also need to learn how to prevent cross-contamination. For example, by using separate knife and cutting board for raw and cooked food, and understand why it's important to cook food to safe temperatures. By including visual demonstration and letting vendors actually practice this technique, it becomes much easier for them to apply what they have learned in their daily work. Secondly is to develop simple illustrated guidelines in the local language. Many vendors might have trouble reading or understanding technical terms, so poster with clear pictures works really well. This can show step by step how to prepare food safely, clean utensils, and store food properly. When displayed right at your store, these visuals serve as daily reminders and help to prevent common mistakes like leaving food out for too long or using dirty clothes over and over again. Next, we can look at introducing community-based certification program. Local health department or council could run this scheme where vendors attend training, go through simple checks, and then get certification or stickers to display at your store. This doesn't just encourage customers to buy from them, but it also motivates vendors to keep up a good hygiene so they can maintain their certification. And lastly, it's really important to have on-site coaching and inspection. Health officers or trade volunteers can visit street food areas, especially during busy time like festival, to give quick refresher tips, show safe practices on the spot, and check things like hand washing setup and storage temperature. This kind of ongoing support helps strengthen what vendors learn in training, solve problems immediately, and build a stronger sense of accountability and care among all the vendors.
In conclusion, street food is a popular and affordable choice for many people, especially in developing countries. However, it poses serious public health risks due to the microbiological hazard caused by poor hygiene and unsafe water, and also improper food storage. Contaminated food can carry very harmful bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella, leading to illness such as diarrhea, typhoid, and hepatitis A. Real-life outbreaks in places like Bangladesh in India show how quickly these issues affect a large group of people. To solve this, street food vendors need access to clean water, proper storage tools, and training in safe food handling. Infrastructure improvement and hygiene certification can also build consumer trust and reduce health risks. In short, making street food safer protects public health and helps support the long-term success of local food vendors. So that's all from us. Thank you for your attention.